Ahoy shipmates, Amy from Cruise Craze Fam, and welcome to my Carnival Luminosa ship review. So I sailed on the Carnival Luminosa in March of 2024. So this review is based off my 4-day cruise to Airlie Beach from Brisbane. So first of all, a little bit of background about the Carnival Luminosa. So Carnival Luminosa started her life as the Costa Luminosa. So she was sailing as a part of the Costa fleet. So Costa is a cruise line that is based out of Italy. It was announced in June of 2022 that the Costa Luminosa would be transferred over to the Carnival fleet. So she was transferred to the Carnival fleet and started sailing under Carnival in November 2022. Construction started on the Costa Luminosa October 10th, 2007. She was launched 27th of June 2008 and entered service on the 5th of May 2009. Her design is a hybrid using elements of Spirit class and Vista class. So for those who have sailed on the Carnival Spirit, you will find the layout to be quite similar. Currently, she sails between Australia and Alaska. You will see her sailing from Brisbane, Australia, from October through to April, and then she'll do her Trans-Pacific cruise over to Seattle, where she will start her Alaskan season. Okay, so let's talk about the pros of the Carnival Luminosa first. So, of course, the entertainment is one of the first things that I have to always mention pretty much for a Carnival cruise. I did go on this cruise as a girls' trip, so we probably got more involved with the entertainment. We do anyway, but we probably got a little bit more involved with some of the entertainment than what we typically would. Let's just say I didn't sleep a whole lot on this cruise. There was a lot of fun to be had and I didn't want to miss any of it. So they had an excellent rock band. I don't know the name of the rock band that was on there when we were on there. They were really good. Of course, you got comedians, which we had Stephen Whiteley on ours, which we really like him. We had him in June on the Carnival Splendor. So you'll actually see little bits and pieces of him on our vlogs from Carnival Splendor of June of 2023.
And they were on horses. That's the universal sign for horses, ladies and gentlemen. Except in New Zealand, where it's... Anyway, it doesn't... You put that joke together yourself. I did nothing.
Bad Steve.
I think you'll find it's bad, Steve.
DJ Scoot, he was incredible. He kept the party going for us. We partied so hard on this cruise. We hit the nightclub every single night and we just danced. It was so much fun. I mean, it was my 40th birthday cruise, so that's kind of what we went on there with the intention to do. But I have to say, shout out to DJ Scoot. I got to say, he was probably the best DJ I've had on a ship by far so far. So he knew what we liked. He kept the party going. It was an incredible time. There was a duet on there called Wild Embers. So the funny thing is we actually met Brad again on the Carnival Splendor in June of last year. And then I saw him as soon as I got on there and we recognized each other straight away. So it was great to see him again. So he's got a duet with his wife. They are still on the Carnival Luminosa and they will be on there until December. So if you are going on the Carnival Luminosa between now and December, expect to see a lovely husband and wife duet. They're really, really good. And it was just nice. They set a really nice kind of vibe and ambience. Of course, you've got your theme parties. We had, because it was only a 4-day, there was technically your elegant night. They did do a white party, even though it's not technically on the list for a 3 to 4 day, but I believe they do generally do the silent white hot party on the 4-day cruises. So take your white outfit, even if you're only doing a 4-day cruise, because they probably will have a silent party, silent white hot night for you up on the deck. And then we had, of course, our 80s rock and glow, and that was so much fun. So not only did they have, obviously, the DJ, but they also had the rock band up there as well. So once the DJ and the cruise director had finished doing their thing, then the rock band took over and we just partied on until we eventually ended up over at the nightclub, of course. And then the shows. So we had, of course, your Welcome Aboard show. And we also had Flick. This was my first time seeing this show. They don't do it on the Carnival Splendor, and I really loved Flick. It was a tale, I won't give it away too much, but basically it goes through all different movies. So there's a guy who's kind of movie obsessed and he's following these characters through these movies. And it was incredible. The singing was great. I absolutely love this show. It's one I'd definitely watch again if I had the chance. And then, of course, for the entertainment, you've got your usual suspects. So, of course, you've got your bingo, you've got arts and crafts, dance classes, just so much stuff. I can't even list it all. So every day you'll be able to check your itinerary and you'll be able to see all the stuff that's listed on there for each day, and you can pick which ones you do and don't want to do. They also do Family Feud on the Carnival Luminosa. So I didn't go to this, but if you are traveling with a big group of family, this could definitely be something really entertaining to participate in, I think. The next pro I want to talk about is the food. The food was really, really good. Even my friends mentioned about how much they really enjoyed the food on the Carnival Luminosa. We didn't pay for any food. We only enjoyed the free options. So that, of course, includes your buffet, your MDR, and your pizza. I ate a lot of burritos and tacos, which they don't have on Carnival Splendor. So I was really excited to go and have the breakfast burritos in particular. But I ate so many burritos and tacos. And then I also really enjoyed the old-fashioned barbecue. I have had old-fashioned barbecue on the Carnival Splendor, but I didn't enjoy it as much. But the Carnival Luminosa, it was perfection. It was absolutely beautiful. And there was always a really long line there. Of course, you've still got your free ice cream as well. They do have burgers, and I'm going to get to this in a minute. They do have burgers, but it's not Guy's Burger Joint. If you are willing to pay the extra amount, for $72 per adult, you can also do the steakhouse. We enjoyed the MDR ourselves, and because we're a big group and we're all kind of on a little bit of a budget, we were happy with the MDR. It was only a 4-day cruise, but I have heard amazing things about the steakhouse. Everyone says it's worth it. I am getting on the Carnival Splendor in 2 weeks, and we do plan on doing Fahrenheit 555, which is the steakhouse, and I do plan on doing a review on that. So if you haven't already, please do subscribe to my channel, because I do have plenty of food and ship reviews coming up very shortly as well. Another pro I want to talk about is the staterooms. Honestly, they're pretty standard for what we are used to here in Australia with the Spirit class and with the Carnival Splendor. They're all pretty similar. There is ample storage. I find the bathrooms to be big enough that we can kind of do our thing. The balconies were a decent size. And the great thing is we had 5 cabins booked side by side. So we opened balconies up all the way. So we had our own little neighborhood, so we could pass through each other's cabins just through the balcony rather than having to go around and knock on each other's doors. So we found that really, really handy as well. If you do want to see a full proper cabin tour, I do also have that on my channel, so please go check that out. Now, as far as other facilities that they do have, I did find the gym to be really good. I think this is probably one of the better ship gyms that I've come across. I did find the free weights area was nice and large. There was a nice little area where I could just stand and do some of my shoulder press, bicep curls, all that kind of stuff. So I did like that. And I also liked that it was in kilos because it's been transferred from Europe. Everything was in kilos, whereas we're used to the ships coming from America where it's all in pounds. So it just made it a little bit easier for the Australians, so we don't have to try to convert from kilos to pounds, pounds to kilos. Either way, I'm kind of used to it because I did live in America for 6 years and I did a contract on a ship in the gym as a personal trainer. So I'm kind of used to the conversion, but I could imagine for someone who's not so used to it that it could be quite confusing. There's also a nice large exercise room. As long as there's no seminars or anything running in there, you're welcome to go in and use that exercise room. It's got some spin bikes in there. Sometimes I just like to have the space to do my own training. The spa, obviously the gym is a part of the spa, but I did go into the spa as well. I found the girls to be really lovely in there. I did have a good chat with them. We did kind of connect on the fact that I worked in the spa, so we had a little bit of a chat about that. I did have the ionothermy treatment, and I really enjoyed that. Spa is not something I usually do. I have been a little bit skeptical in the past because I've worked in the spa. I was a little bit worried about pushy sales. I didn't have that experience at all. I don't know if that's the standard, but I actually really enjoyed my treatment and I found it really, really relaxing. There is, of course, your usual child entertainment. So they do have the kids clubs. I'm not going to go into too much detail of the kids clubs because I have talked about that in some other videos, but they do have the kids clubs for the younger ones. So basically from 3 till I think 11, and then they've got kind of your teen clubs from about 12 to 17. But if you do want to check out more on that, I am going to do a full video in the future about the kids club. I'm going to try to get a little bit more information while I'm on the next ship in 2 weeks' time. So again, if you want to check that out, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and then that way you'll be alerted when I come out with that. In the meantime, if you do want to check it out, jump over to my Carnival Splendor review. I went into a bit more detail about the kids clubs and how that works. You've still got your Dr. Seuss stuff. We did have a Dr. Seuss parade. It says on the website that that's not a thing. I did still see the Seussapalooza parade, and they do still have the Dr. Seuss story time and, of course, your breakfast. That is basically a paid breakfast. It's now called Thing 1, Thing 2 birthday breakfast. So that is basically celebrating everybody's birthdays. It doesn't need to be your birthday or anything. It's just I haven't done that one yet. Again, that's the one I plan to do. So that will be coming up on the next cruise. So it'll be interesting to see how that's changed since it's changed over from the Dr. Seuss breakfast. You do, of course, have your basketball court, and there is the main family pool where the kids can swim. There is an adults-only Serenity retreat at the back of the ship. I actually found that the Lido deck pool was quieter than the Serenity on the Carnival Luminosa. The Carnival Luminosa doesn't have the slides or the water parks that the Carnival Splendor has, and I'm going to talk about that in a little bit more detail shortly, but that means there is also less kids. So it could be a good thing for you if you want to get away from children a little bit, but I did find that the Serenity pool, the one time that I did want to swim, I found that to be a lot rowdier than the main pool. The main pool, they did have the DJ going, but I actually liked that little background noise. It wasn't overbearing, it wasn't loud or anything. But the Serenity Lounge, there was some adults who had obviously been drinking for a little while, and they were getting a little bit rowdy. While we were swimming in the main pool, we actually had some young girls come and join us in the main pool, and they said that there was just some kind of creepy drunk people over at the Serenity pool, so they decided to come over to the family pool. I quite enjoyed it there. I felt the temperature was really nice. It was really relaxing. It's salt water, so I was able to just kind of float around and just relax for a little bit. All right, let's talk about the cons now. So as I just mentioned, there is no slides, so no water slides. There is also no water parks. Carnival Splendor has 2 different water parks, and it's got 2 water slides. And my children love this. So for us, when we travel as a family, we always pick Splendor because I know the kids would be devastated if they didn't have that. When you go up on deck on the Carnival Luminosa, it doesn't feel like Carnival. There's not the fun, there's not the vibe, there's not the colors. It's just big blue open decks. where you can see they've tried to chuck a couple of the activities in there, but it just doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel like Carnival. And then, of course, it doesn't have the whale tail, which is another staple for Carnival. It's very characteristic of Carnival. When you think of a Carnival ship, you think of the whale tail. Unfortunately, Carnival Luminosa does not have that. They do have mini golf on the Carnival Luminosa, but it is tiny in comparison to the Carnival Splendor. So that is another thing that if you're traveling with kids and that's something you like to do, you might want to factor that in. Now, the time that we cruised, I don't know what was going on. Now, if you don't know, the sewerage on a ship is obviously extremely sensitive, and from time to time, no matter what ship you are on, you can get bad little wafts of smell. For whatever reason, the time that we were on the Ocean Plaza really stunk. It was pretty bad. They were trying to work on it. I could see them actively trying to work on it, and they were trying to deodorize the room. But unfortunately, it was a pretty strong stench to the point that a lot of people avoided going there altogether. Now, I do have friends who are still on the ship, and they have said that that has been rectified. So thankfully, it was just that period of time that was happening. But they did say, which is one thing that I did forget about, that Americans can actually smoke in the casino. So the smell in the casino can actually get really bad if you're sensitive to the smell of cigarette smoke. Another thing that I find is a little bit of an issue for us is that there is no self-service laundry. A lot of people don't mind because like we did a 4-day cruise, that was absolutely fine, and it was just me. But when we do say like a 8-day or a 10-day cruise with a family of 4, we need the self-service washing or laundry, shall we say. There is a laundry service where you get a bag, you fill out and you can put your stuff in the bag and send it off to be washed. I'm not entirely sure how much the cost is because I haven't done that, because we always need to wash way too much stuff that I'm not even doing the maths on it. It does add up pretty quickly. But once you become either platinum or diamond in the VIP status, then you do start to get free washing. So that's if you've spent 75 days or more on a Carnival ship, then you start to get that included as one of your perks. Another thing I didn't really like was the placement of some of the bars. So like the piano bar, so where they played the piano and where the bar was, like I didn't mind the bar being there, but there was a walkway through there. So it just felt a little bit divided from the artist to where you sit and you enjoy it, because there's people walking through. We also were wanting to dance and have a bit of fun with it, and we were in the walkways, and it's not really ideal. I think that's just because obviously she's been converted from Costa. This is a Carnival thing, and so there's only so much they could do. It still worked. It was okay. It's not the end of the world. I just prefer how it is on the Carnival Splendor, where you've got an actual room for the piano bar. Also the Alchemy Lounge, or the Alchemy Bar, which it wasn't a big deal, again, because I generally tend to either sit at the bar or there was some seats on the other side of the walkway where you could sit and enjoy your drink. And unfortunately, there is also, as I mentioned earlier, no Guy's Burger Joint. So Carnival has a partnership with Guy Fieri, and Guy's Burger Joint is a staple of Carnival. And although they do sell burgers, there isn't a Guy's Burger Joint. So if you're going on there expecting a Guy's Burger, you are not going to get one, unfortunately. So just kind of accept that you can have a burger, it's not going to be a Guy's Burger. All right, so that's a wrap for my Carnival Luminosa ship review. Now, if you are here in Australia and you're trying to decide whether to do the Carnival Luminosa or the Carnival Splendor, I have done, if you're interested, a video here where I compare the Carnival Splendor to the Carnival Luminosa. So please feel free to check that one out. Also check out my Carnival Splendor ship review. So if you're here in Australia, they are your 2 Carnival options currently at the moment before Carnival Encounter and Carnival Adventure come in. So please check out my videos. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Hopefully you got something out of it, and I'll catch you in the next one.